Well, you see, because after I'm gonna nose manual it, and my rear wheel is in there the entire time. Hey, my name is Remy Metailler. I'm an ambassador for Backcountry, and we are here in Squamish on top of In-N-Out Burger, and I'm gonna give you a rundown on how to ride slabs. Slab riding is really iconic to Squamish. There is not many places in the world where you can ride such a long, steep and grippy slab like the one behind me, and In-N-Out is definitely a must ride. Well, the slab actually starts behind you, but the actual interesting part, the steep part, is right there where Justin is. And there's several lines, but you can make it all the way down to the forest, and then the trail continues. But the actual slab of In-N-Out is right there, and it is a long slab. In order to ride slabs, the key components on your bike are gonna be your brakes and your tires. Tires is obviously what makes contact with the ground. That's how you manage your traction, and your brakes is how you manage your speed going downhill. I've got the Ace Dominion A4, I've got sintered brake pads, 203mm disc front and back, and for tires I use Maxxis Assagai front, DH rear 2 on the back, both in 3C grip and double down casing. Well, in order to ride slabs, I think the two main components are body position and braking control. First of all, like you should do for any kind of feature, any kind of trail, make sure that your bike is properly set up for yourself, but also for the terrain. So that goes from tire pressure, angle of your lever, contact with the brake pads, suspension, all your gear. Once you feel good, you should always test your bike. At the very top, there is a flatter area, which is good to like really have a good feel for your brakes, make sure that everything is good to go before you actually focus on riding the steep slab. When riding the slab, you want your body position to actually be centered on the bike. A lot of people go really far back on their bike, which is what you should do when it gets really steep. But on this slab, you still want to stay fairly centered so you can be as efficient as possible with your braking. If you had to have only one brake to ride on this slab, a lot of people will think it's the rear brake, but I'll definitely pick up my front brake, because my front brake is what's gonna stop me, whilst the rear brake only slows me down. Like any feature, I think it's a really good idea to go and hike it first. Have a look so you know your option and you can make the best decision in terms of how to approach. Yes. Yeah, it was pretty low center of gravity on his bike, but really centered, and had a good pressure on the front brake, so he was able to really control the speed and just modulate with the rear wheel. So that's what you want to do when riding slabs, so that was a good example. Nice. You can lower your center of gravity a little bit more. Yeah, a bit more weight on the back. Yes. Nice. That's really good. Like being able to go so slow is actually way harder than going fast. So when practicing slabs, a good tip is to try to go as slow as you can, because it's always easy to go fast. You just have to let go of the brakes. But going slow is a tricky part. So doing what Brooklyn just did is, I think, a really good way to build up in order to ride more difficult features. I think what will be fun now is everybody's ridden well that slab. Just to show them the importance of the front brake, I'm gonna ask them to ride this little section of trail only using the rear brake, and then only using the front brake. And I think that'll be a really good exercise for them to understand what brake actually does what. See, like compared to the run before where I was using both brake, especially the front, Justin was actually losing traction with the rear wheel. So that shows you what the front brake actually does. Yeah, only front brake now. Yes. So see how much more control she was by using just the front brake? So now if you can use both brakes together, that's how you can actually control slab riding. So Justin, we're just gonna make it to that little knob right there. Okay. So remember, front brake stops you, rear brake slows you down, keep your center of gravity low, and drop your heels. You want to make yourself really heavy, and you want to help the bike to find traction. Okay. If you lock your rear wheel, don't panic, just keep on the front brake and try to release slightly the rear brake.
Moving.
Yeah, to keep your wheel moving so you can keep that traction.
Okay.
Let's do it?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. We should do a video after where I purposely go as slow as I can. Yeah, and you can stop anywhere, like just to show. Wow. And I can do that just with the front brake. Like we can actually show where I'm just on the front brake. Huh. Well, you see, because after I'm gonna nose manual it, and my rear wheel is in there the entire time. Okay, as slow as I can go now. If you lower your center of gravity like I did, you can make yourself really heavy. And so that way you apply like the full pressure on your bike instead of driving like forces to go downhill. Yeah. One of the best feeling I have from mountain biking is really the idea of progression. And in order to progress, it's really important to work your way to challenging yourself. You don't go out there and find a feature that scares you and do it. You have to really build up confidence, knowledge, and skills in order to get there. And I think that's what I enjoy the most, is really that idea of slowly building steps in order to do something that challenges me. And just like we did today on In-N-Out Burger, we worked on understanding how braking control works on a smaller slab and then apply it to more consequential and more iconic feature. Thanks a lot for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe, like, leave us a comment. See you next time.